Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today I'm going to talk about survival uses of these emergency radios. But before we do that, if you're interested in detective stories or survival courses in Belgium, there will be a link to both my websites of survival courses in Belgium and my book called Bloody Crosses. So if you're interested, take a look at it. Alright, so emergency radios. There are all types of emergency radios on the market, and a lot of people are questioning these, why, if they are actually something useful. Well, today I want to talk about the pros and the cons of these things. First of all, my favorite one is one of these T-brands emergency radios. Why? Because this one has most of the functions that I could need. First of all, it's a radio. If you can see. And what I really like about this is you can, here from Belgium, I can receive a radio broadcast from England, Italy, Spain, Germany, France. So yeah, and of course Belgium and the Netherlands. So it has a very wide range to receive information that way. Another thing that I always like about these are hand cranked. So if you do, and actually these, if you crank these for 1 minute, you will get something like 10 minutes of radio out of it. So these are really efficient in my way. And of course, there is the light. You got a weaker light to save on battery. You got a big light, and you got SOS light. And also, this has a bigger light, and the beauty of this is it has a small sensor, and I cannot do this because I'm moving, but if you open this up and you're going to, perhaps it will be working, and as long as you don't move, after a while the light goes out, and if you if something moves before the sensor, the light goes on. So it could be like an improvised alarm system, or if you are sleeping in a shelter and you need to take a piss, yeah, if you stand up and the light goes on, you can take a piss and go back. So for hiking, this is also very handy. The light does not go out because, yeah, I'm moving a little bit too much. But trust me, if you walk across this sensor, the light will pop on. And yeah, another feature is it's like a power bank. So you can take, if you have your cable, and this could also be used for EDC, you can plug this in, take your cell phone, in this case my little Nokia. Oh yeah, it does not fit on the Nokia. Yeah, I brought the wrong wire, but nonetheless on the smartphone which I'm filming with, you can power up your cell phone in a good way, and also if you do not have power, use the hand crank to get more power that way. So it's handy to power up some small devices. Alright, so these are all the pros, but what are the cons about it? There are several things that I would like to address to the people who are making this, and that is, first of all, there is a small solar panel on the top, and I've noticed these are just annoying because these are not charging up. And for people who say, oh, but it's so that the battery never goes fully depleted, well, the thing is, then you need to have these always on the outside. And if you're on a bug out or a hike, 95% of the time they are in your bug out bag or your bag, and these will not receive sunlight. So if you're going to use it at home as a static radio, fine. Then it can probably charge a little bit up, but not enough to fully charge it, except for big, very bright summer days without any clouds. But most of the times, I don't really like these small solar panels. So that's one thing. Another thing that I don't like, and that is what happened to my last radio of this kind, these buttons. These are portraying very much outside. And I don't like this because if I put this in my bug out bag without any specialized protection around it, it will press against the buttons, and one of the buttons broke, and that way, yeah, the radio is not working, but all the lights and all the other stuff is working, but not the radio. And that's something that I also don't like. Another thing that I would love to see about these things change is the cranking handles. These are working very fine, no doubt about that. But what I really don't like is that it's made out of plastic parts. So the moment you are a little bit too wild, you drop it, this plastic could crack, and there is not really a good way to improvise or to repair it with just the simple tools, so to say. So that's also something that I really don't like about this. But for everything else, it's a very sturdy emergency radio that I would advise to get into your home. There are all sorts of emergency radios. There is this kind of hybrid Muse. That is actually one of my first emergency radios. It also has the solar panel on top. Radio and crack, yet again made out of plastic, so the moment this cracks or falls, yeah, then you're fucked in a way. But yeah, it has all the same things, same principle. You got the light, you got alarm. I don't know why they put this function in top of it, perhaps for emergency signaling, but I don't really like it. And yeah, of course, it plays radio. Let me... So that's working fine. But another thing that I don't like about this is these buttons around here. Why? Because I had several times when I used this, when it was in my bucket bag, this slightest touch could put it on light, put the radio on, put it on charging for your cell phone, because this is also a power bank, and that problem, and then it's drained its batteries because it was on without me knowing it while in the bucket bag. So yeah, these are perhaps a little bit of criticism that I would like to see improved, but if you put it in a protective, how do you say this, in a protective casket, or perhaps something that you can put around, like a shamak or something, perhaps then it's better. But yeah, I would love to see these kind of things improved. And the last emergency radio that I got is this very, very simple one. That is actually just a small power bank and a small radio. I have not put this on yet in a long time, so let's see if it's working. The battery is down, so let's try out. Yeah, still working, and it's almost a few years that I actually put this on, and it still is working fine. Yet again, plastic, and the good thing about this is the buttons are a little bit more on the side, in contrary to the length of it, and it's more sturdier, simpler, that you cannot accidentally put on. And yet again, stop with the small solar panels. And yeah, and yet again, yeah, this is my take on the emergency small emergency radios. I would say get one, put one in your bug out bag, but regularly check it if there is no button being pressed against, or put it in a protective case, and yeah, regularly load it up, because you do not want, even though you can crank it up, if you want it fully charged, to load up a couple of smartphones or some other electrical devices. Just regularly check it on that it's not broken or fully depleted, and yeah, it's also very light. And yeah, that is just my take on the emergency radio. Get it in your house, get it in your bug out bag. Also, do look out for knockoffs on the internet, because of the three that I trust, these are the Power Plus, the Hybrid Muse, and the T-Brand Gold Zero one. These are the ones that I tested and that were fine. All the others that I tested were cheap knockoffs that did not last or broke immediately. So yeah, watch out with which ones you buy, and be carefully with them. So like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and see you in the next video. Cheers!